you guys. My name's Jennifer Knowles, and I thought I'd get live today and talk to you guys a little bit about energy blockages, how to know you have an energy blockage in your body, and what you can do about it. So there are some signs of having blocked energy in your body. One of them is having pain in a certain area of your body that's sort of unexplained. You could have tension in a certain area, so it's not necessarily pain, but the muscles and the tissues around that area are tense. Another thing that can happen if you have stuck energy is having emotions that are stuck that you can't work through, something like sadness or anxiety or anger. And that can be a sign that there's stuck energy in your body. One of the things that people say to me when they come for body work is, I just know there's something stuck. Like there's a knowing that there's a blockage in my body and I don't know what to do to get rid of it. Another sign of having blocked energy is having difficulty making decisions, feeling like this decision isn't right, this decision isn't right, and I just don't know what to do. Or both of these sound good, and I'm not sure how to proceed. Some of the reasons that energy can get stuck in our body is because of trauma. It could be because of like a car accident, a physical trauma, a fall can create what we call an energy cyst in your body. And so the idea is that energy cannot be created or destroyed. So if you fall, say, on your tailbone or something, then that energy can get lodged in usually, your hips, something like that. And then you're not able to move as well as you used to, or you're having pain in that area. It can also be caused by trauma, like childhood trauma, or some sort of abuse can cause us to kind of shut down in the tissues in one area of our body. And so it can keep us stuck in patterns of behavior that we don't necessarily like about ourselves, or feeling stuck in a certain way of responding to the world. And so one of the biggest things when dealing with stuck energy in the body is to slow down. Often we just kind of keep moving, tell our bodies, you've got to just keep doing what you're doing. And we don't stop to slow down, to listen to our bodies and what our body is trying to tell us. You want to pay attention to what it's saying to you. Sometimes we can feel cut off from a certain part of our body, like the lower half of our body, or even like a right to left side, where our right side is dominant and, my right hand does most of the things for me. And my left hand feels sort of cut off from, the right side of my body. So it can manifest that way. And when we slow down and pay attention, that's when our body feels like it's recognized, like, oh, you're listening to me. And then often we can kind of move that energy through after it feels supported and safe. There's a book called Waking the Tiger by Peter Levine. And he talks about how, like in a predator-prey situation with a cheetah and gazelle, how like the cheetah's running after the gazelle, and then the gazelle, say, it gets away, and it's hiding under a bush or something. And in the wild, animals are able to kind of shake and get that energy out of their body. And it's kind of like a trauma response. But that's not socially acceptable for us. So we just hold on to that trauma of like, oh my God, that animal was running after me. I was scared. And then we internalize it. And so that can become stuck in our bodies. So our energy body is an extension of our physical body. So if sometimes you can, like through energy work, you can move the energy in a certain part of the body, and then the physical part of the body that's associated with that energy will work better. A lot of people have come to me saying, you know, I've been to the doctor, I've been to 10 doctors, and, you know, they say there's nothing wrong with me, but I have this pain, you know, whether it's like in their shoulder or their hip or kind of an overall sense of pain. And that's usually an indicator that it's energetic, that you need to kind of pay attention to your energy body, whether it be through receiving regular energy work, or movement can help with that too. If our energy is stuck in a certain area, it can hinder the movement in our body. So like yoga, Pilates, things like that can really help. So yeah, I just talked about pain. You can get headaches. You can get decreased range of motion or movement in your body. And you can also feel cut off from your body. This can translate into our lives, right? So like feeling stuck in a career, or feeling stuck in your love life, not feeling like you're finding the right people, or difficulty making decisions. And so the difficulty making decisions piece comes across as like this frozen response. So there's like, we've all heard of fight and flight. Like I was in the fight or flight response, but there's also freeze. And so sometimes this freeze response can be associated with energy that is stuck in the body. So when we get an energy cyst in the body, that's what we call it in my line of work. It's actually like an area of the body where the energy is not flowing. So the energy is flowing, you know, ideally it's flowing through our body with ease. But then when there's an energy blockage, the energy flows around that area. And so it's almost like a vortex, or it can be like a hard feeling, like a density. And until we can get that blockage out, our energy is not going to be flowing as well as we had hoped. And so the first thing to do is to notice. You want to, you could put your hands on a certain area that's calling your attention. And if you just slow down and pay attention to that area, and notice what's coming up for you. What is it trying to tell you? And as I do this, I can feel my own body slowing down, because I'm paying attention to it and I'm noticing it. Our bodies are really slow. So our minds, maybe, you know, I'm from the East Coast, and I could talk really quickly, but when I come back to my body, it's out of my mind, into my heart, into, you know, the tissues of the body, which are really slow, like I said. So, notice the sensations there. Is there a tightness, or a flutter, or a color, or an image, or some sort of object that might be stuck in a certain area? And then first thing is to notice. The next thing is to pay attention. Like, ask your body, what do you need from me? What does this part of my body need from me right now? And then to actually listen to what it's saying, and to act from that place of, oh, this is what I need right now. And I'm going to offer that to my body. And so certain parts of the body have different sensations that are traditionally associated with it. But, you know, anything can be stuck anywhere, really. Like, there was a picture that I put up on one of the posts for this video, and it's the Roby chart. And so this chart is reflective of a lot of the feelings and things that people have reported over the years of doing somatic body work, and like what types of emotions are commonly found in these areas. But say like I have tension in my stomach, oftentimes that can be a feeling of fear. So when they say like, I had a gut feeling that this was true, or that this was the case, or that this was the wrong choice to make, that's our first line of defense, right? Like our stomach tells us this is right, this is wrong. And if we don't listen, then our stomachs can get, I call it blown out almost, where, you get irritable bowel syndrome, your digestion's not good, you have stomach pain, because we're not listening. And when we listen, then the energy in that area can flow better. And so some of the other things that can be associated with body parts are our solar plexus. So we've got chakras, right? So we've got 7 major chakras throughout our body. So we can have energy stuck in a chakra, or a chakra can be flowing the opposite direction. And then we could also have energy stuck in an organ, in a tissue, in a muscle, in a bone even, or, some of the work I do, we work on teeth. So just holding a space for a certain body part can allow it to unwind and let go of energy that might be stuck in that area. And so the idea about having a blockage is like, it's almost like having a drain, or a gutter, and there's something stuck in the gutter. And so that is not going to work ideally. It's going to back up. It's going to go into different areas. So like emotionally, you might get blocked, and these emotions are coming out sideways in ways that you don't necessarily want them to, or it's not healthy to express your emotions in certain ways. And so when your energy is flowing, your emotions are flowing, and it's easier, life is easier. And so the idea of being frozen. So, some people come to me for energy work, and there's a energy blockage, say, or just like a slowing down of the energy in a certain area of the body. And, we'll do some energy work, and then that can kind of move out throughout the body. So it can get, stuck in the neck or the head, or, in my experience, the heart is kind of the controller of the energy in the body. And so often the energy needs to move through the heart and then into the throat and then out that way. But it can also come out, extremities, in any direction, really. But the heart area is, grief and sadness. Also, the large intestine is grief. So if you have like constipation, often it's a sign that you're not experiencing your grief and feeling your grief. You have a hard time letting go of things. And certain people are, certain people are more apt to have certain, I'm losing my train of thought. Certain people are apt to have certain dysfunctions in their body. And often that's dependent on like elements too. So people who are very earthy will have constipation issues. And so elementally, earth can be a strength, but it can also be a weakness. So like somebody who's really stubborn, that's like a weakness of earth, but it can also be a strength, right? Like someone who holds their ground and who sets goals and then achieves those goals. And so our energy can be associated with different elements of the body. And so the body sort of acts like a grid. Like in my head, there's like, there's the chakras, and then there's the tissues, and then there are like lines of energy running through the body, almost like a grid. And so if you turn your attention in, you can find that place where the energy is sort of overlapping, or it's almost like a blanket. Like if you have a woven blanket and you pull one piece of that blanket, it's going to mess up the whole blanket. You know, you can't just pull that one piece and have that be independent from the rest. So our energy is kind of the same way. So if we have energy flowing, and we've got a blockage in our right shoulder, you know, that energy is not flowing through that area. So it's going to affect everything in our body. And what else do I have for you guys today? So the most important thing, like I said, is to slow down. We're just moving so fast in our culture that our body just wants to be acknowledged and listened to. And your body may give you messages like, I need solitude, I need movement, I need connection with other people. Or do you need more of something or less of something? Are you doing too much of one thing in particular? So yeah, that would be my advice. Slow down, listen to your body, take some time to get to know your body parts of your body. What is this saying to me? What does it feel like? What images come up for me? What memories come up for me? You can journal about those things. It can help with like psychotherapy. If you're seeing a therapist, oftentimes people are seeing a therapist and they're going over the same issues over and over and over again. This has happened to a lot of my clients. And then they come in and we work with the energy of the body, and they're able to actually move through a lot of the things that they couldn't move through before. Because our body does store energy and emotions and trauma. So, yeah, listen. I'm going to post a link to my guided visualization for energy clearing in the body. Or actually, you know what? If you want to get that energy clearing, just comment energy below in the comments, and I will DM you with the link to get my free gift. Thank you guys so much for listening and for showing up today. And I hope you have a lovely Wednesday. Okay, bye.